I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I scroll my feed and think, this shit makes me physically ill. This circus act people keep calling black culture. What I'm feeling, and what I know a lot of y'all are feeling, is what I call black fatigue 2.0. Not just exhaustion from racism, but exhaustion from watching the worst stereotypes of us get performed, recorded, and shoved in our faces 24/7. So in this video, I'm walking through how we got here, from our grandparents fighting stereotypes to a generation that turns those same stereotypes into content and calls it keeping it real. When I look back at older generations, my grandparents' era, the civil rights era, they understood something clearly. The world already saw them through the ugliest stereotypes. Lazy, loud, criminal, ignorant.
How the hell do you wake up dead?
Hypersexual.
That nigga Terry Bone.
So there was a code they lived by. You don't act a fool in public. You don't bring shame on your family name. You move with dignity because eyes are always on you. Those suits during marches, the Sunday best at church, the way they spoke and carried themselves.
You're living in an area where you have to have poor schools. When you have poor schools, you have poor teachers. When you have poor teachers, you get a poor education. And when you get a poor education, you are destined to be a poor man and a poor woman the rest of your life.
That wasn't an accident. That was strategy. That was armor. They honestly believed if we carry ourselves with discipline, we prove the stereotype wrong and open doors our kids can walk through. I can argue all day about whether respectability politics went too far, but I can't deny this. My elders were intentionally fighting stereotypes, not feeding them. As time went on and some legal barriers dropped, the mindset changed. We started shifting from guard the image at all costs.
What's wrong with miniskirt?
Number one, I have a wife and she's walking around with a skirt up to here. And then what's happening? Well, why do I want everybody to see her? What's a man, I mean, people looking and winking, they lusting for her, all kind of free. He can't bend over because the panties show if the wind blow. Why do I want everybody to see my wife? What's private? What's mine? Everybody looking at her. She be more covered up than she do in the European style with just something covering up her nipple and just a little old G-string over, and she's walking out on the beach naked. I want you two people to stand up and take a bow to show you how women dress and how my wife
Sure,
dress.
that'd be interesting. Let's look at that.
Because the sisters stand up who've been converted to our movement in America.
Can we get them on?
This is where our women dress. These are our women right here. Do that look bad to you? Ain't that beautiful? And that's the way the black woman should look. You understand? They're clean. They serve God, all of them. They don't serve some English clothes designer. They serve God, and they're proud of it. And what's wrong with that? You ask what's wrong with a miniskirt? What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
What man wouldn't want his woman covered up? He can go to work knowing that she ain't somewhere flirting.
2, I'm going to do me, and I don't care what anybody thinks. On one level, I get it. People got tired of code switching, tired of constantly performing just to be seen as human. But there's a dark side to that. When there's no standard, no line, and no shame, anything goes. We hit an era where acting out in public stopped being a family embarrassment and started being content.
Restaurant owner is responding after video of him yelling at customers went viral.
All this twerking, take it to Prime, take it to Pink. Don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. If you want to do it, get the f out my restaurant.
Fights in stores, freakouts on planes.
Thankfully. If I just move you the fuck out my way, then I'm assaulting.
Screaming matches in restaurants.
Talking about some corn I ain't fucking eat, bitch. Fuck out of here. No.
People turned it into entertainment. Hit record, upload it, and laugh. The same behavior my grandparents would have pulled you aside and checked you for. Got a ring light, a caption, and a hashtag. The elders tried to bury these stereotypes. Now, a small but loud group digs them up, dresses them up, and dances in them on camera. That's where this newer sense of black fatigue hits me. I'm tired of watching clown behavior get presented as the face of blackness. I'm tired of dine and dash
restaurant
pranks.
in Albany is sharing video of 5 women who ate at the restaurant and then left without paying. I want to show you surveillance video. Take a look. This is from 938 Crawfish, a Vietnamese Cajun fusion restaurant. It shows 5 women enter the restaurant, they sit down, they have a meal, they leave without paying their more than $200 bill. The owner calls the dine and dash overwhelming and heartbreaking, saying small businesses are trying their best to recover, and events like this make it nearly impossible.
Over-the-top ratchet behavior in public, viral ignorance that people label the culture. A handful of loud people making the whole community look insane. I find myself thinking, I know what those great men and women who came before me built, and I'm watching all of that get overshadowed by people chasing views with the worst version of us.
Well, the search is on tonight for the last suspect wanted for this destructive drive-through attack. This trio went on a rampage causing damage to a Wendy's in Ewing, Mercer County. Two of the suspects have since turned themselves into police, but a third woman still at large.
That's a different kind of exhaustion. It's not self-hate, it's frustration. We're more than this, but this is what keeps getting amplified. Now here's where it gets tricky, and this is personal for me. I enjoy hip-hop. I like certain drill tracks. I rock with the beats, the storytelling, the energy, the aesthetics. That does not mean I co-sign the worst behavior that gets attached to it. I can love the production, the flows, the raw honesty in the lyrics, and still be a disciplined person who goes to work, minds my business, and wants nothing to do with chaos. But from the outside, a lot of people don't care about that nuance. If I dress a certain way, if I listen to certain artists, if I talk with a certain cadence, they immediately assume, oh, you must be about that life. You must be part of that ratchet, reckless culture I see online. So now myself and others like me get caught in the crossfire. We enjoy the music, but we're stereotyped as if we're the ones starting fights, stealing, or living out these criminal storylines. That's another layer of black fatigue for me. I'm tired of the clowns, and I'm tired of being lumped in with them just because I share a playlist or a style. There's a big difference between liking hip-hop culture and living like the worst stereotypes attached to it. But in this era, if I look the part or love the sound, too many people decide I am the stereotype. Let's talk drill. Drill was a new wave of street music that didn't just report what was going on in the streets, but more so a first-person experience, birthed from rough environments, Chicago, then New York, the UK, and beyond. It was darkness on a beat, violence, beef, poverty, survival. At first, you could say, this is what's really happening out here. But over time, the line between documenting violence and glorifying it got blurred. The more intense the lyrics are, the more detailed the threats, the more disrespect to the dead, the more attention the song gets. So now, real beef becomes entertainment. Real death becomes promotion. Real neighborhoods become backdrops for somebody's image. To outsiders, drill becomes black culture, period. They don't see the engineers, the parents, the students, the professionals. They see guns, gangs, and funeral talk. The exact stereotype my elders tried to outrun, black equals violent, reckless, lawless, gets turned into a global product with a catchy hook. I still listen to some drill music when alone, but I'm also aware that the way that I present myself in public is the way that people will perceive me. Now, I may know that I'm no criminal or lawbreaker. I can separate art from action, but the world often doesn't. So here's where I see us today. We've gone from modesty and dignity as a shield to I'll be as wild as possible if it gets me views. Shame used to be a boundary. Now shamelessness is a feature. If it's loud, obscene, or embarrassing, it's content. The algorithm doesn't care about context or community. It doesn't care about the quiet, disciplined majority. It grabs the wildest clips, the worst behavior, the most ignorant takes, and blasts them everywhere as Black Twitter, Black TikTok, Black culture. So when I say I've got black fatigue, a lot of the time I mean I'm tired of watching stereotypes we fought for generations get performed, monetized, and then used to judge all of us, including me. So have we lost our way? I'm tired of how some of us make it so easy for them to see us a certain way. So let me be blunt. If your whole brand is acting a fool in public, glorifying destruction, and then hiding behind, that's just our culture, you're not representing us. You're embarrassing us. Those before us did not suffer and grind just so we could turn every racist stereotype into a skit, a song, and a TikTok trend. While I'd like to say you shouldn't judge based off stereotypes, there are a number of Black American youth that completely embody them. So the question remains, do we continue to embrace this once loved hip-hop subculture that raised a generation, created wealth, and opportunities, taken many from the throes of the ghetto, but has also created a culture of violence, lawlessness, and shamelessness? Or do we divest from the culture completely and carve a new path for our future? So I want to hear from you. Do you think we evolved from our elders, or did we throw away their discipline and keep the stereotypes? And if you love hip hop but hate the clown behavior, where do you draw the line? If you're feeling that black fatigue, hit the like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this with somebody who needs to hear it. This is Rants and Reviews. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to say what a lot of us are thinking.